Hello, there is a recent story about a CIA agent and also an agent of the police being grilled and also talking about how money laundering works and how he has been able to aid money laundering as an agent. So he was talking about how he helped the Colombians during that time of Pablo Escobar launder money, and he has almost exposed everything which these people were using to launder money and some of the methods which they were using. So today I'll be telling about how this particular person exposed and also some of the ways which these particular money launderers use to launder money which is gotten from drug trafficking, such things like that. And also some of the money is related to trafficking and other cases which can be laundered still using the same way. So this particular person was living in the United States and was an undercover agent for the CIA and also for the American justice system. So what he used to do and also how he was able to get into this particular money laundering scheme and also convince people like Pablo Escobar's team to hire him as one of their leading money launderers. Because one of the things which these particular money launderers and also the drug dealers do, they have divided their organization into many different parts. There are people which sell the drugs, there are people which take the drugs and also farm the drugs, people who smuggle the drugs, and also there are people which collect the money from the drug dealers and take them to the people which now launder that money and now distribute it into different type of accounts. So this basically what he did is this person was just like a normal person. What he did, he had many businesses. He had a jewelry store, he had a particular bank system and also other businesses like imports and exports businesses. So he had some particular background which will solidify him when he's looking for that particular job to launder money. So what he basically did, he approached somebody who knows Pablo Escobar and somebody who knows people which know Pablo Escobar. But he didn't approach this person very directly. What he did, he asked a friend of his and told this friend of his to go and approach this person and to tell him that my boss handles a lot of money. And if you want to do big amounts of cash with somebody, I know somebody who can do this large types amount of cash. So at first, the person which they went to meet was called around Emilio. So when they went to meet when this particular person, which was sent by this agent, went to sent the other person to go and meet Emilio, Emilio was very convinced, but when Emilio wanted to meet the boss, the agent now, the agent started refusing and also saying that just to up his game and look like he is a hard person to find. And that's how he was able now to convince that this particular drug traffickers that this person is a legit person and is a hard person to find. After convincing them, they were able now to get some friendship with them and they were able now to deal and also do transaction. And that's now when now many transactions of more than $500,000 dollars per day were being transacted. Even sometimes it would go for $2 million being transacted in one particular day. So what this person basically did, if he got that particular money, they will have backgrounds checked. Like if you have a jewelry business, if you have other businesses, no one will particularly ask your business where does this money come from. So it is easily being washed into these particular businesses. When the agents come, they will tell you where do you get this large amount of type of money. You basically say this money is gotten from this and this particular organizations, and these organizations I own them. So basically you have a background to pretend and also fool people's eyes that where you get your money is your specifically source of business, but it isn't the business which many people think. What they do, they put up high-end businesses like jewelry business and other businesses which can generate and also seem to generate so large amount of cash. Even when somebody is trying to ask and question you, there is a reason, and also there is they can be, you can give out an excuse very easily. So what they basically did after acquiring a large amount of cash, like $500,000, what they will do, they will particularly sell these dollars to people who want these particular dollars. These are the people who demand the dollars so that they can use the dollars, and the people which they are the basically which the people which they use to sell those particular dollars or the importers of Colombia. And the importers of Colombia wanted dollars where they can be able to transact into the international trade using the particular dollars. And also one thing about the Colombian importers, if they wanted some dollars in any other place, the only place which they could get dollars is in the bank. And the bank used to charge even more for you to get a large amount of dollars. So it was very preferable for them to get it from these money launderers. They will buy the dollars in exchange of the Colombian money, and after exchanging, this will be a profit for them, and also it will be a add up sign for the money launderers. And after the money launderers are able to acquire the Colombian money, which is the Colombian pesos, from the importers and also importers of the Colombian country. And after they're able to acquire it, they will now take this money and put it to the Colombian bank, because it is Colombian money. After putting it into the Colombian bank, now they are able now to distribute it to other parts of the country and also other bank accounts offshores. And the best also scenarios which they used to do, they used to distribute this money to some type of people which you will also require agents, and also which will require money for them to purchase other things like helicopters, and also things like boats for that particular organization of the drug traffickers of Pablo Escobar. So what this particularly agent will do, he will give this particular money to a person which is in charge of buying helicopters and also planes for Pablo Escobar, and also planes which will be used to traffic drugs around the country, and also from US to Colombia. These were used to purchase with these Colombian pesos. And this Colombian pesos was a legal thing, and also be it Colombian. The problem will be if it was dollars, but after it is changed to Colombian, it will be just clean money. And also that transactions, as long as you move one currency to another, that's one step of washing money. Before you trace it back to another type of currency where it was gotten, it is a long period. Their main agenda was just moving one step and another step, maybe future, and also another step. So basically, also what they used to do in the United States, another method which they used to do is, and how they used to collect this particular money. What they did, they were having some agents which were collecting the drugs in that particular country, and also selling drugs in America. What these particular drug dealers will do, they will give somebody who comes to collect the money to them, and this particular money was around the $10 bills and also $20 bills. They were just like the $10 and $20 bills. The drug users, this was the main currency which they were using to operate. They didn't operate using the $100 bills. Their main currency was $10 and $20. You understand, drug traffickers. It is maybe if you get a rich person which also wants to use the drugs, is when you can find a person having a $100 bill. So that's after that particular money collector is able to collect these $20 bills stacked together from the drug dealer, then he has to take it to the next person, which is the person which is in charge of trafficking and also washing this particular money. And after it is taken to this particular person, they are usually being collected from different drug dealers. This money is put together, then it's taken to the person which washes the money. Then the person which washes the money is in charge of either washing the money or taking the money to Colombia. So what they basically did, after collecting all the money, they'll take it to the New York City, where they'll put it into boxes where a person is able to call now the person who is in charge of trafficking this money and also washing the money, which is the agent. And we'll call the agent and tells the agent that let's meet somewhere and somewhere where we can have some lunch. I have 250 boxes. When he says he has 250 boxes, it basically means he has 250 and $50,000 of worth of boxes. So when they are able to communicate, these were some of the things and also codes which were being used by these drug traffickers to communicate so that they can throw away the any agents which might be listening. So after they're able to meet and also are able to have their lunch, basically what they usually did, they will have lunch in a area which is public, and public area, it is very difficult to catch somebody in a public area, and also it is very difficult for you to identify somebody in a public area before you identify, because public area, many people wear the same clothes, and also trying to shoot, it will be very cautious. It's better you catch somebody when they are solely on a sole place. So that's why drug traffickers were preferring the public places where they can have some cup of coffee or have some lunch. And after discussing and also sitting on a table, the person who which is responsible to handing over the money to the agent and also the money washer is gives that particular money washer the keys, and that keys inside that keys is the keys belong to a car around that parking lot area, where in that car there is certain types of amount of money and also boxes of money and also suitcases of money. So after giving the key, the story ends there, because they didn't want to engage very much. They just wanted to make minimal contact and also minimal information which will pass through the person which collects the money from the drug dealers and also the person which handles and also washes that particular money. The minimal contact, and also you'll be operating with somebody but you don't know his background. So they limited that particular information. They didn't want to mix these two things. As so when one thing blows up, the other things will just remain where they are. They didn't want to mix up where one thing will lead to another. So basically, after leaving the keys to him, he will take the keys and open the trunk and take that trunk, and they will be able to either transport that money to Colombia or be able to mix up that money and put it in the bank, or he can be able to use that money and buy tickets and also other things like check cash. And this particular person who was the main, there were other people which also are being used as the, now that was the lower group than him, because him he could handle a lot of amount of cash, and these other people which were lower than him, what they basically did is they were able now to hire another like 10 members of a particular group, and after hiring them, they will be able to call them in a particular location where they'll be able to come in that location. After coming in that location, they'll be given maps, and after being given maps, they'll be given on that map, they'll be given a communication device where they'll be able to communicate. On that map, the map says that they should meet in a particular place, and meeting in that particular place, they will find an amount of cash, and this cash, they'll use that cash to buy other things like checks. And these checks were travelers checks, where a traveler check is a particular type of check where you can be able to travel to another country, and if you travel to another country, that money can be easily changed. So instead of having a $10,000 dollar bills where it is a huge amount of cash, you'll just have it in a bank, in a traveler's check, where you'll be able to travel with one check to another different particular country and also be able to transact this check. Basically what they did, they didn't write they left the check blank so that they can be able to transport it to another people, where they'll be used to write the name of the receiver of that particular check. So these checks basically were being bought, the maximum which you could transact on this check, and also the maximum which you can put in this traveler's check was 300, that it was $3,000. If you put more than that, the agents will be informed, and if you go to another country also, it can raise suspicions. So they limited the amount of money which they put into checks was $3,000, and this $3,000, it will be easily transported or easily being transacted without anybody being noticing that this money will arise any suspicion. So if you put $3,000, which will amount into a money which will have a stack like this into just one particular single check, so you can have a box which are full of worth of those travelers check for around $500,000, and it won't be so heavy because it's just travelers check, and this travelers check now can be used and also be transported or be smuggled into other countries. And this travelers check will be sent through shipping agents like FedEx, which will not arise issues like money. Money was the ones which could arise issues. But if it was travelers check, anybody could have pretended this particular box contains this and this and this, because the box, first of all, is very light, and also being detected by any dog or sniffer, it will be very impossible also. So that was another way which they used to smuggle checks and also smuggle money. So the other way, and also what another adventure which he went through, is when he was in London, and he met the lawyer of Pablo Escobar. And this lawyer was explaining to him that he will have to transact around $1 million per day. So you can just imagine the amount of money these people were receiving. They used to say that that money was nothing to him. They just saw this money was just like paper, that they had a lot of money, and the issue was just transferring it and also cleaning that particular money. So per day he will be able to transport and also wash $100 million per day. So you can just imagine per month how much this person will be earning. Even he'll be more than what other billionaires earn. This person earns a lot of money, and some of this money, even it is not the full amount. This is just one person which is being used to transact this 100 million per day. There are other members, like 10 other members or 50 other members, which transport this particular money using that $100 million per day. And also there are other members which do a lesser amount, and also those members are also many. So the amount of money being transacted in one single day, this was a multi-billion drug business, and anybody having any sign or this, it was also danger for this particular DEA agent. If he was seen and also being smelled like this person is a rat or is a person which is an agent, it will be the end of his life. Not only his life, but also his family's life. So one of the things, when he was there in London, there was a particular deal which they were supposed to do. And now remember, he was dealing with the lawyer of Pablo Escobar. So you dealing with the lawyer of Pablo Escobar, it was a big issue. And also other DA agents and also other agents who are to be there so that they can see you and also see what you are transacting, and also investigate this particular case so that they can be able to catch the lawyer of that particular person, which is Pablo Escobar. Because if you have the lawyer of Pablo Escobar, you'll have a lot of information, and also this particular type of circle, which also entails other politicians and other people in those governments, and other people also in the US government. You can all have that particular web in this particular single person, which is the lawyer of Pablo Escobar. So they wanted to investigate on that particular day, but they made one mistake. The person and also the agent, which was acting as a double agent, which was an agent, was pretending to be one of the drug traffickers, but he was an agent for the police and also the FBI. What he did is he pretended, and also there was one person which was reminding him, you should always watch out for people which are wearing tracksuit, and also people which their age is around their 20 to 30 years limit, the mid 20s and also early 30s. These are the sniffer dogs, and these are the ugly ones. The ugly ones was a term used to refer to agents and also police people. And these people, the drug traffickers already knew them. They had already their own surveillance. So it was just like a counter surveillance, where you have your own surveillance over here, then the other person has their own surveillance. So you match to each other, and also one person is investigating you, the other person also is investigating you. So the drug traffickers already knew how the agents were looking, and also how they were, and how they were dressed. And also the one thing, they had a particular pouch which was on their around their waist, which this pouch, the drug trafficker said that inside that pouch is where they carry their guns. So the drug traffickers already knew how the agents look. So these particular agents went back to that particular office and try warn them that these drug traffickers already know how you look. But one thing about those particular agents and something in the law enforcement, there's a lot of ego. And these particular agents, you being from another division, no one will want to hear you or obey your laws. So it during that particular meeting, those peoples, which are called the gringos, the white people, came wearing the tracksuit and also wearing some jeans, and also that patch which is around their waist. And also this alerted the drug traffickers that these are gringos, and that's how they were able to cancel that deal of 100 million, them being able to transact. If they had left this particular or listened to this person, the deal will still be going on. And also this DA agent will have met with Pablo Escobar, because you've been transporting so much money to Pablo Escobar. You'll have so much he will have so much appreciations to you, because you are the leading traffickers, and also you are an important person in his organization. The other way which they used to transport and also wash this money was in Panama. Panama was a particular banking, and also before Panama, the other method which they used was layering. Layering method is a particular method where a person is able to have a collateral and also put a particular a certain amount of money into a bank, and also after putting that amount of money into the bank, they are able to declare that money. And that money, after declaring it, they will be able to use that money which they have declared it to take another loan in a different type of country. Let's say like France, they'll take a loan in France, and after taking a loan in France, and the collateral is this particular money which they declared in also another different country. After taking the loan in France, now that money they'll be able to shift it to another country like Panama, and after shifting it to Panama, they will also now again shift it to Colombia. So the different layers of that money, which the route which it has gone through, it is a long route. And this long route will be very untraceable, because banking systems and also other different countries, and also the banking system in each country have different rules. So before you try to encode each particular country and also banking system is very hard. And it's quite also impossible, because one thing the banks assure is the secrecy of the particular bank accounts, and also their customer, they ensure secrecy. So the other method which they used also to launder money is Panama. Panama, what was basically happening in Panama, in the banking system, it was nothing where you can hide. They knew that this money was drug trafficking money, and also this money was being also traffic, and also the bank accounts in Panama, and also the banks in Panama were also trafficking the money of the president. So, and also the president was working with Colombian drug dealers like Pablo Escobar. That time, the Panama president was Noriega, and they were also friends. So you having your money in Panama, you can be able to open a bank account of US dollars. And after opening a bank account of US dollars, you will be able now to put the amount of number of US dollars which you want into that particular bank without even them asking you a single question. And this was aided by that banking system and also managers of the bank. And these are some of the ways which money can be used to launder, and some of the ways which money has been laundered over the years by the drug traffickers. I hope you like this particular video, and I hope you come back for more videos like this. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will really appreciate if you also subscribe to this channel. So till we meet next time, that's the story of how drug trafficking works. I hope you understood and also you are aware of it. Till we meet next time, thank you.